Hey guys, Lost Acolyte here. Today we've got some really interesting news for you. Apparently, Disney has developed a real-life lightsaber. Now, according to this article here by the Disney Insider, during a special press conference done by the Walt Disney Company called A Special Look Inside Disney Parks, and this was hosted by the chairman of Disney Parks, Josh D'Amaro. He apparently revealed a lightsaber to a crowd who were instructed that they were not allowed to take photos or videos. And according to D'Amaro himself, he apparently said that it's real. This is some really interesting news because lightsabers, I mean, as a kid, who didn't want to have a lightsaber? If you're a Star Wars fan, of course you wanted to have a lightsaber. It's like the coolest thing ever. And I'm sure you guys at some point imagine what it would be like having a lightsaber. So this is some really interesting stuff. And throughout all the years, a lot of YouTubers have sort of tried to recreate a lightsaber, a real working lightsaber, to varying degrees of success. And there's some really cool recreations out there. There are some that looks like a lightsaber, but maybe not as functional as one. My personal favorite actually is from a documentary done by an American physicist called Michio Kaku. And during this documentary, he sort of theorized the possibility of creating a real-life working lightsaber. And he sort of uses real-world sciences or theoretical sciences to try and figure out how would you create a lightsaber from scratch. And I really recommend you guys check it out. I think it's a really short documentary, about 20 so minutes long, and it's if you're a Star Wars fan and you really want to wonder the possibilities of creating a lightsaber, I highly recommend that you check that out. Anyways, coming back to the Disney development of a real-life lightsaber, apparently the Disney company filed a patent back in 2017, which really shows that they have been working on some sort of a prototype for some time. And according to the patent, it's officially titled a sword device with retractable internally illuminated blade. And so by that description, I'm pretty sure, or we can pretty much ascertain that it is indeed supposed to be a lightsaber. And so this is some really interesting stuff. And so I've actually went and taken a look at the patent itself, and it does indeed look very much like a lightsaber. And it was actually filed back in March of 2017 by the Disney Enterprises, and its application was granted in 2018. So this has clearly been in the works for some time. And if you download the patent itself, there's some really interesting diagrams that you can take a look at and to see how it works and how it's designed. Now, I'm no mechanical expert, and I don't really have a background in science, so I can't really, or engineering for that matter, so I can't really tell you, how this would work, or if this is viable or what it does. But it looks pretty legit. I mean, it's got a handle. It seems to have some sort of ability to retract and ignite like a lightsaber would. And yeah, I mean, it looks good. And so what I've done is I've looked into some sort of theoretical possibilities on how this would work, and I've come across this article done by World News Today, and in this article they sort of cite a VR/AR/web developer, a guy called Ben Ridout, who apparently posted on Twitter his sort of theory on how a lightsaber would work. And so let's take a look. So yeah, and it's got some retracting ability there. I'm sure this is just the animation, but that sort of looks like a measuring tape to me. I'm not sure about that part, but okay, it looks pretty legit. And according to Ben Ridout, he sort of states that it's obviously not going to be a fully functional lightsaber. It's not you're not going to be able to swing it and duel with it like Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader does in the movies. So he says it won't melt through metal blast doors or cut off your hand, but it sure has an illuminated blade, a feature of an illuminated blade that will extend and retract at the push of a button. And this is some really interesting stuff. And so here's some more animation according to him on how it could work. Alright, so it seems to be more of a two-piece thing. It's got one piece on one side and another piece on the other side. So one comes out first and then the second one, and that's how it sort of extends. And I assume that the animation here is inside inside this sort of cylinder. So according to him, it will sort of partially wrap around each other to form a complete cylinder. And there is a motor in the system, so both reels can be extended and retracted in a sync at a push of a button, and so from this you sort of get a lightsaber. And he also goes on to talk about the fact that this material, or the blade's material, is able to diffuse the light, which is provided by a strand of flexible LED tape. And the LED is contained inside the hilt on a third spool, and the LEDs are attached to the end of the cap so they can be pulled up when the blade extends. As the blade extends, the LED unwinds off the spool and are pulling up inside the hollow core of the blade, providing an internal illumination. So that's some pretty interesting stuff. Now, obviously, if you've been to Disney Park or Disney World, you'll know that Disney does actually allow you to build your own lightsaber. Well, in my opinion, it's more of a you're able to customize a lightsaber. That's a very specific, set of tools and aesthetics that you can use to create your own lightsaber. But it's still pretty cool nonetheless. Don't get me wrong. If I ever get the chance, I'm definitely getting one. But these lightsabers that I think it was at Siva's workshop that you can create. Now, these are lightsabers that you can, run around with, hit each other with, and it's gonna be, relatively fine. It can't really retract, which is unfortunate, but it's pretty decent for a sort of toy lightsaber. So it's not really clear as to whether or not you can do this with the lightsaber that Disney just announced. Now, obviously, the technology is probably a lot more sophisticated, so you could question whether or not is it going to be a little bit more fragile, and is it available for the public to sort of buy and use and play with, like you would expect most Disney products to be. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Personally, I don't think you'd probably be able to run around and have fun with it. I think it's more of a publicity piece, and it's a publicity piece, I think, for an upcoming Disney project. They're developing an immersive Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser hotel experience, and you can see this right here. And the idea behind this is to basically create a hotel experience that's more Star Wars-like, or that sort of takes place within the Star Wars universe. So, and I think that this lightsaber here is probably going to be a publicity stunt or a publicity piece for this upcoming hotel experience. I think that's probably more likely gonna be the case for this lightsaber. I don't think it's gonna be something that a lot of the people can get their hands on. I don't think it's gonna be like seen in or featured in Siva's workshop. I really do think that it is indeed a advertising or a publicity stunt that Disney is trying to pull off here. But hey, I'm no expert. I don't have an engineering or science or mechanical background. So if any of you guys do, maybe you can let us know or enlighten us down in the comments down below on how it could possibly work and what this possibly means for guys like us who wanna buy a lightsaber. But anyway, so that's all for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. I am the Lost Acolyte.
And I have spoken.